right. I think we might as well begin. Let's begin our practice by taking a moment to sit tall. You could either have your feet on the floor, or you might have your feet up on your yoga block, and coming into a comfortable seat. If you had 2 yoga blocks, you could have 1 block for each foot, even better. But that, not necessary. Bringing our shoulders over our hips. Hands can rest on the legs or be folded in your lap. Whatever feels good. Eyes can be opened or closed. Take a moment to sit tall and notice your posture. And coming into stillness. And bringing our focus inwards towards the breath. Just noticing our breath. And feeling each in-breath expanding and opening. Softening with each out-breath. And growing taller perhaps on each in-breath. Relaxing on each out-breath. And filling up the belly and ribs, breathing beyond the throat and the chest. Following the breath in your body. And creating that awareness. So often we breathe very shallow, just in the throat area, when we're busy doing and thinking. So taking this opportunity to breathe more fully, to expand each in-breath, lengthen each out-breath. And start to bring your awareness towards the heart space. You might even place one or both hands on the heart. Feel the beat of your heart, giving thanks for all that our heart does, pumping and blood, oxygen throughout the body, keeping us going. And take a moment to set your intention for your practice, that heartfelt desire. Perhaps a few words of affirmation, whatever it is for you. And know that you are worthy of abundance, worthy of whatever your heart's desire. And then releasing our hands back down to the legs or your lap. Taking a moment to blink the eyes open. And create awareness around you. You might bring your feet to the earth. Widen your feet. You can scoot forward and pick up your block. Taking a moment to sit tall, shoulders over hips. Feet grounding, and maybe just lift the toes and stretch out your toes. Just noticing your feet land. Again, let's bring our block about the heart height here. Let's press it forward and bring it back in. Inhale, you might reach forward, and exhale, bring it in. That's it, keeping length in the spine. You might round a little bit and extend a little bit. Or you can just stay very linear. So see what feels good for your body. You can think of this as a mini cat and cow stretch. Warming up the body. And then let's take this movement upwards. Let's reach up to the sky and back to the heart. Reaching up to the sky and back to the heart. That's it. We'll add one more change, this time reaching up. Take the block in the right hand, circle around, and drop back in. Inhale, lifting left side. You might follow your block, warming up the head and neck and shoulders. Good. And know that you can opt out of anything I suggest today. Please honor your body, paying attention to any signals or signs that maybe your body needs something a little different. Good. One more each way. And last one. And bringing that block perhaps back between the knees, hands resting on the legs. Let's sit tall as we turn our head posture to the right and back center, turning left and back center. Take your time as you slowly move the head and neck. Just breathing with this movement. And last one. Good. And then this time, take your ear to the right shoulder, circle around towards your chin, take the ear to the left shoulder, and then do that half circle the other direction. So start to tuck the chin to the right ear to the right shoulder, and then start to tuck. And if that feels okay, we can do a few of these. Little half circles. And last one. Returning center, bringing your eye gaze up to the horizon. Good. From here, let's simply slide back a little bit, as much as you can, keeping that block, if you like, between the knees. So a little squeeze of the block, press the legs away, and bend. So hands can be on the thighs, or they can be out to the side, gently hanging onto the chair. That's it, looking good. Warming up the legs, broaden your collarbones, lift your heart. That's it. So welcome, welcome everyone. So nice to see a good turnout here today. On this next one, keep your legs extended, then point your toes and flex the feet. Point your toes and flex the feet. And then you might circle the feet in one direction and circle your feet in the other direction. Shake it out and bringing your feet back to the earth. Good. From here, let's bring our right arm across the body. Then bring that right arm up by your ear, bending the elbow, and add a little stretch as you sit tall. Lifting the chin, lifting the chest. Good. Taking that right arm back up, both arms out and down, and then roll the shoulders up, down, and back a few times. Good. And then we're going to take that left arm across the body, relaxing that left shoulder. Make sure you're not up by your ear, that it's down and back. And then left arm up by your ear, bend the elbow, pat yourself on the back for showing up today. And then coming into a nice stretch. Breathing into the ribs, belly, the shoulder, and the tricep. Creating space with each breath. And then releasing the arms. Roll the shoulders. Good. And then we'll pick up our block. Let's turn towards your right, sitting side on in your chair, block between the knees, nice and tall. And again, shoulders over hips. We're going to come into a twist, or you could simply sit in this tall posture. We're going to reach our arms up. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, gently turn towards the back of your chair. Let your hands land on the chair back. Pause here and breathe. Breathe into the ribs, front, back, and sides. Noticing sensation, your breath. As you're ready, reach to the sky, turn your shoulders back towards the right and float the arms down to the legs. Pause for a moment, just noticing as everything settles. Breathing fully. One more breath. And then we can remove our block. Let's take the block to the floor, perhaps. You can also do this without a block. Scoot forward a little bit on your chair to free up that front hip and buttock. And we're opening that front hip. We're pressing through the ball of the back foot and pressing through the front foot. Hang on to the chair with your back hand. Front hand can reach up to the sky, lift and lengthen. Either staying here, very linear. You might add a side bend though. Keep pressing through the feet, keep lifting up and out of that hip flexor. Just breathe. Allowing the breath to flow. On your next in-breath, reach both arms skyward for warrior one. Now arms might stay up to the sky. They can also come to the heart or the hips. So know that you can always modify this position. So warrior one. And let's come into flying warrior. So you can release your back hand to the thigh, front hand forward, front leg back, changing the angle, reaching fingertip to toe. And as everything settles, you might further challenge yourself by lifting both arms, perhaps, pressing into that front foot. So giving each leg its own tracks, squaring off the hips, the shoulders. That's it. As you're ready, let's come out of this posture. Bend the back knee, start to pivot on the back toe, windmill the arms, adjusting this back leg for warrior two. So pushing into the outer edges of that left foot. This leg can come all the way forward, wherever it needs to be for comfort, for your knee and hip. Shoulders over hips as much as you can. Let's rotate our palms turning up. Rotate palms turning down. Good, just breathing. And then we might leave our palms up. Right hand to the sky, left hand lightly resting on the thigh. Reversing our warrior. Breathing into this shape. And as you're ready, windmill the arms back to parallel. And then from here, front arm comes to the thigh, circle the back arm up and around, arm by the ear. To deepen the stretch, open the shoulders, pull that top shoulder back. Keep a little lift in your waistline, a little pressure off that underneath arm. So we're keeping that lift in the waistline, pressing through the feet. Continue to breathe as you press through the feet. Good. On your next inhale, reach up. Exhale, spiral the arms and release them down to your legs. Help that back leg forward, the front. We'll turn to face center, pausing for a moment. Just breathing. Just noticing. Good. And as you're ready, we can pick up our block. We're going to repeat that sequence on the other side. So turning to face your left, block between the knees. Stacking shoulders over hips, feet rooted to the earth. Let's inhale, reach our arms, lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale, turn gently towards the back of your chair, letting your hands land on the chair back. Just breathing into this shape. Noticing your breath. A little lift at the low belly, the pelvic floor. As you're ready, reach up to the sky, turn back towards the left, float the hands down to the legs, letting the ribs settle on the hips, letting your spine realign. Good. From here, we'll transition. We can pick up our block, placing it on the floor in front of our chair, and then scooting forward a little bit. Freeing up that front hip, you can widen your stance. Again, taking a moment to add that front arm perhaps. You might add a side bend, or you might just stay very tall and linear. Good, breathing into the hip flexor. Just noticing your breath. And then reaching both arms up to the sky, coming into warrior one. Relax the arm bones, the shoulders. Follow your breath. Good. Let's release our back hand to the thigh, front hand forward, front leg back, coming into flying warrior. Take a moment to level off the hips and shoulders. You might keep that bottom hand on the thigh for support, or you might opt to lift both arms. And as you're ready, start to bend the back knee, straightening the torso, pivoting on your back toe. Windmill coming into warrior two. Adjusting that right leg, broadening the collarbones. Making any adjustments for comfort. Good. Just breathing. Just noticing. We might rotate our palms up, reaching, energizing through the fingertips. Let's take our arm up to the sky, the opposite hand resting on the thigh or the lower leg. Breathing into this shape. Just noticing breath. And then windmilling the arms back to parallel. Take another breath, lowering that front arm. Circle the back arm up and around, arm by the ear. Then opening the shoulders. And to challenge yourself, take a little pressure off that elbow and forearm so that you're doing the work through the waistline. Pressing firmly through the feet. Extended side angle. Looks good, everyone. And as you're ready, reach up to the sky, back to parallel arms, and relax your arms by your side. Good. Help that back leg forward and the front. We'll turn to face center, taking a moment just to pause and notice. Good. And then from here, let's widen our feet a little bit. You might take the toes out a little bit too, whatever feels comfortable. They can be forward or turned out a little. Hands on the thighs, fingers pointing inwards a little bit. And we're going to stir right out of the hip area, right out of the pelvic bones, making circles. Breathing comfortably. Feeling your feet grounding. And then maybe change direction of your circles. Spiraling out of the base of the spine, stirring or circling. Feeling that shift through the feet, through the sitting bones. And return center. Bringing our hands to our heart, sitting tall. Let's inhale, reach up. Exhale, pull down. Little squeeze. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, squeeze. So option is to stay right here, both feet planted on the floor. Or you might follow me. Inhale, reaching up, and then lift the right knee just a little bit. And then releasing. So we're lifting that foot off the ground as we draw the belly in for support. That's it. A couple more times. Last one. Good. And release. Grab a hold of that right leg. Give it a hug. We might circle the foot. We might circle it the other way. Good. And then picking up the foot or ankle, cradling the lower leg, just rocking back and forth, getting a little movement out of the hip joint. And then resting our ankle above or below the knee. Let the knee fall out where it may. Sitting tall, easing into the stretch. We might hinge forward a little bit more just to deepen the stretch. And breathing into those external hip muscles. Just noticing how this feels for you. And then we might start to turn towards your right, adding a little bit of a twist. Easing into this stretch. And then unravel, return back center. Take that foot to the earth. And just notice that whole side of the body, that side that we just stretched. Good. Let's take the left leg or the opposite side in. We can either grab the shin or hook your arms underneath and circling the foot. Good. And circling the other way. Good. And then picking up the lower leg, cradling the lower leg, rocking back and forth. Just a little movement out of the hip joint. And placing that ankle above or below the knee, sitting tall, let the knee fall out where it may. And breathing into those deep external hip muscles. Noticing sensation, your breath. And then we might start to turn towards your left. Adding a little twist, only if that feels good for your spine. And slowly unravel, returning back center. And release your foot back to the floor or your mat. Pausing here, just notice. Good. From here, let's come up to stand. You can just set your yoga block aside. So we're going to go up to stand and we'll adjust our chair so that you're facing your chair seat. The chair, if you're using a mat, can be placed at the top of your mat. So you have the full length of your mat behind you. Come into mountain pose. So our feet can be hip bone width apart. Little bend in the knees. Open your shoulders and chest. Maybe the palms turn forward. And crown of the head to the sky. Can you lift the inner arches of your feet? You might feel a little activation in the glute area. Lifting up on the kneecaps. Broaden your collarbones. And smile. Let's bring our hands to our heart in Anjali Mudra. Let's begin. Inhale, reach up skyward. Exhale, fold forward to that flat back position, hands on the chair. Inhale, step back right and left to plank. And exhale, align your plank. Inhaling, arching the spine, upward dog. Exhale, lift the hips, step forward into downward dog. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the thighs for support. Tall mountain. And hands back to the heart. As you're ready, inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold flat back. Inhale, step back left and right to plank. And exhale, strong plank. Inhale, arching the spine, perhaps upward dog. Or you might just stay in plank. Downward dog. As you're ready, halfway lift, hands to the thighs, tall mountain. And hands back to the heart. Let's add on, inhale, sweeping up. Exhale, diving forward. Inhale, step back right and left to plank. And exhale, drawing the belly in for support. Inhaling, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, halfway lift, secure your spine. Exhale, right knee towards your nose, rounding the spine. Inhale, press away. Do it again, exhale, round. Inhale, press away. One more. Return to downward dog. On your next inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the thighs, hinge or roll up. Tall mountain. And hands back to the heart. Other side. Inhale, sweeping up. Exhale, diving forward, flat back. Stepping back left and right, finding your plank. Upward dog. Downward dog. Halfway lift, secure the spine. Exhale, left knee to nose, rounding. Inhale, press away, look forward. Do it again, exhale, round. Press away. Last one. Return to downward dog. And as you're ready, halfway lift, hands to the thighs for support. Tall mountain. Pause here and just notice. Let everything settle. Just breathe. Good. From here, let's continue our practice, remembering to stay hydrated anytime. Grab water if you like. And we're going to come into pyramid pose next. So as you're ready, you can take your right foot forward, your left foot back, turning the left toes out a little bit. And again, we're going to rotate the hips to the front. We're going to hinge forward, coming into a flat back. So whatever leg's forward, that's the stretch. That's the leg you're going to feel that hamstring stretch in. So again, the legs can be fairly straight. To deepen the stretch, we're pulling that right hip back, the left forward. Breathing deeply. Just noticing breath, sensation. You might bend the elbows to get a little lower, or just shifting the pelvis to deepen the stretch. Again, breath flowing. Good. Bending both knees, step forward, ground your feet. Come up nice and tall, pausing at the top. So we're going to take a step back on the opposite leg now. Again, turning the toes out on that back leg. And then rotating the hips more squarely to the front. We're going to inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, folding at the hips. And I'm pulling this top hip back hip forward. Just breathing into the hamstring. So I'm feeling a nice hamstring stretch here. You might bend the elbows to get a little lower. You could even bring elbows, forearms down but if that's too much, come up a little higher. Just bending the elbows to get lower. Important to keep your spine long, your core muscles engaged. Adding that little shift in the pelvis to deepen the stretch. Just breathing into the stretch. When you're ready, step forward, grounding both feet. Take your time to come up, pausing at the top. Tall mountain. Just breathing. Good. From here, let's adjust our chair a little bit. So I'm going to take my chair a little bit forward so that I can step in behind my chair. And I'll show a side view here for those of you at home or on YouTube. So we'll sink into our feet. From here, we're going to come into bird dog. We're going to lift the opposite arm and leg and then release. Other side. Squeeze and release. That's it. Body tall. Finding strength and balance. Good. Last one each way. That's it. And let's turn to face forward. Whatever arm's on the outside, we're going to take that outside arm up and come into crescent moon. Softening the inside elbow and shoulder. Breathing into this shape. And reach back up and float the arm down. Hand comes to the hip. From here, coming into tree pose. So we're going to shift our balance to the inside leg. Outside heel lifts, turning the knee out. Option might be to keep the heel on the above the ankle, toes on the floor. Or you might slide the foot up a little higher, above or below the knee. Hands can stay as they are. They might come to the hips or the heart, or the branches might reach up or out. Pick a focal point to gaze at. Keep reaching the crown of the head skyward. Good work, everyone. And releasing your hands, the knee forward and the foot back to the earth. Good. From here, let's turn and do that on the other side. So I'm just going to show a different angle here. So I'm going to turn, and we'll do our we'll do our crescent moon on this side. So outside arm up and crescent moon. Both feet grounding, just breathing. And release and back to the earth. And again, I'll just move again so those of you at home can see me. So we're going to shift our balance to that inside leg. Outside heel lifts, turning the knee out. And we can start with our toes on the ground, or maybe your foot slides up higher. Keep Keep reaching tall. Again, play with what your tree looks like on this side. Maybe your arms stretch out to the sides. That inside hand may be staying close to the chair. Reaching crown of the head, broadening your collarbones. Your whole body involved. Breathing, noticing. And release your arms, release that foot down. Good, march it out. Good, from here we're going to use our chair. So you can adjust your chair if you like, so you can be on your mat. And face the side of your chair. And whatever leg is near the back of your chair, you're going to lift that back leg and press through both feet. So you're going to press through both feet, nice and tall. And then option here is to bring your back hand to the waistline and bring your front hand to the knee. Start to add a little twist as you turn to the back of the chair. So we're still pressing firmly through both feet. Yep. Good, breathing deeply. Making any adjustments for comfort. Feeling grounded, both feet. Working on balance, strength. And then square off your shoulders and hips. Bring your back hand to the chair, your front hand to the hip, and step down off your chair. Good. So now I'm going to step to the other side of my chair. We'll do that same posture on the other side. So make sure you just change legs so that you're going to lift that back leg. So whatever leg is closest to your chair back. Pressing firmly through that foot and the foot on the floor. The option is to stay here, or you might bring that back hand to the hip, front hand to the top, that knee, and then add a little turn or twist towards the back of your chair. Keep pressing firmly through the feet, feeling the activation of the legs and glutes on both sides. And put some weight especially into that foot that's on the chair to find strength and stability. All the edges of that foot on the chair. Lifting tall, breathing. And then turn your shoulders back so that your shoulders are stacked over the hips. Adjust your hands and step down off the chair. Good work, everyone. Body tall, broadening the collarbones, opening the heart. From here, let's take a few moments to come into our final relaxation. Time flies when we're having fun. So we can lie on the floor, you can sit in your chair, whatever you would like. Taking a moment to rest, to relax, to breathe more fully. You might even add a layer of clothing or a blanket. Taking this opportunity to relax, to return to the breath. Taking a little time for yourself. Feeling the support of your chair, or perhaps the floor and the chair. And bringing your gaze inwards towards the breath. You might choose to stay a little longer here today than what the time that we have. You might set a timer, just so that if you do fall asleep, you can Hear the alarm. You might set an alarm on your phone or your watch, or your kitchen timer. And then come back to the breath, breath by breath, moment to moment. Allowing your body to relax more deeply. Noticing any sensations, noticing the breath. As you're ready, start to awaken, blinking the eyes open, creating some movement in the body, wiggling toes and fingers. Making your way to a comfortable seat. And taking a moment to sit tall, to notice. I've kept you a little longer today. Thank you for sharing your time, your energy, your practice. We'll close our practice with a bow and the words namaste. Namaste.